When is the right time to tell your child about period? Now, I just think that a great guideline is whenever them ask. If they ask you about period, tell them. And don't tell them what you feel comfortable with them knowing. Tell them the truth. Let me tell you something. You don't want to be that parent that your child discovered lied to them because they can verify. If you intend to keep things hidden from your children, don't teach them how to read. Because if they can read, they'll verify and they'll figure out that you're telling them rubbish. So let's start with the anatomy. The first thing we have to do is to ensure that we are comfortable with all our body parts. And I'm not talking about the kettle and the teapot and the tealy and the wheelie and the coochie and the boochie and the cutie and the chocho and all of these other nice little names that I have for them. No. We're talking about vaginas and penises and nipples and clitoris and labia and all of the body parts that we have, including the ones that make you uncomfortable. Notice, children don't grow into their body parts. They have all of them when they're born. So if you can tell them about them eyes and them fingers and them toes and them knees and them elbows, you can tell them about the rest of the body parts. Okay, so that's the first thing. So when you're giving your child a bath, show them the different parts of their bodies and tell them what they do. Now, why it is so important for us to tell the little girls especially about their periods before it starts is because we do not want to leave them ignorant and unprepared when they have their first period. Because believe it or not, you don't get to decide when that is. You don't get to decide to wait until you're ready for your child to have a period, and you don't get to determine based on your experience with your period when your period started when you were a child before you can tell them about their period. That's not how it works. The period starts when it starts, and you don't get to control that. So you have to put them in a position where they know what to do. Because another thing that you can't take for granted is that you're going to be there when the period starts for the first time. I've spoken to so many little girls who tell me that their very first period experience, they were mortified. One of them told me that she thought she had cancer. You know why she thought she had cancer? Because she lost her grandmother to cancer like months before. And she identified some of the things that she felt with how her grandmother felt at the time. So we don't want to leave them ignorant and unprepared. It is unfair and unnecessary, and it is something that we can solve. So the first thing you have to do when you're preparing your child to start her period is, like I said, tell her about her body. Tell her what to expect. Tell her that her breasts are going to start to grow. Tell her that she's going to start to see hair on body parts that she don't normally have hair. Sometimes they get pubic hair first, sometimes they get hair under them arm, sometimes the hair on them leg get more pronounced. But explain all of that to them. And definitely make her know that at any time she can come and ask absolutely any question she wants to ask you. You have to leave that open because it's not a one-time conversation. So that's the first thing. The second thing is products. Take out your products and show them to her. Take them out one and say, okay, so this is what this do, this is what that do. Give her a panty and show her how to use it. I'm going to do a video on that, but I'm going to do a separate video, so that's going to come later, right? But show her exactly what to do, show her to put it on, show her what she needs to know at the moment when it happens. That, okay, so if you feel a certain way, this could be it or that could be it. If you feel if your breast then feel tender, or if you feel like a cramping feeling in your lower abdomen, or if you just feel off that day, you can check to see what it is, because the symptoms are not the same for everybody, okay? Now, so we tell her about the body parts and we tell her about products. And listen, this is absolutely probably the most important thing you can say to her. This is natural. Your period is not a sentence on you for being a woman. Your period is nothing to be ashamed of. And do not, ladies, mothers, I'm talking to you specifically. And the reason why I'm talking to you more than I'm talking to the fathers is because this is something that mothers do. Do not tell your daughter that when she starts her period, she needs to hide it so well that nobody knows that she have it. Because right away, you're giving her a dirty little secret that she has to keep. And once she has a dirty little secret that she has to keep, that is how she's going to treat it. I can't tell you the number of schools that I go to, and I talk to the teachers who tell me things like, the girls hide their pads. So when they take them off, them hide them. And them hide them underneath the toilet. Them hide them in some corner, them catch them betwixt the stall, all kind of places where really it makes the place really stink. It is not good hygiene, but it's because it's a shameful little secret that they're doing their best to hide. They do not get the full benefit of the support and of the idea that this is not a negative thing.